Good morning and welcome to this week's episode of Choir Leader in a Kayak. You may think I'm trying to pretend to be a fairy princess with foliage around my head, but I'm not. I'm having to hang on to a branch of a tree because the current keeps taking me off into the middle of the river. So there we are. But I can pretend to be a fairy princess if you like. This week's episode is all about love and pride. If you don't remember that song, then it just means you're far too young to be watching this episode. Or go and educate yourself and find it. It's called Love and Pride. That's what this week's episode is all about. I have loved watching and looking at all the photos this week on Facebook of various friends and colleagues and their children returning to school. And it is such a moment of great pride, allowing your little offspring to grow up and do new things for the first time, like walking to school on their own or going to a friend's for a play date. It really is such a strong emotion being a proud parent and watching that person that you love, most of all in the world, spread their wings and take brave steps. This week we have had many proud moments in our house. As many of you know, I have children who are quite a bit older now, young adults, but I never ever stop being proud of them and their incredible achievements, whether that's to do with their learning, their friendships, their passions in life, or their health. They will always be loved and we will always be very proud of them. This week we managed to do a socially distanced outdoor sing with about 15 choir members, and again it was just magical to watch them come together and to feel that love, even though they were masked and even though they couldn't really hear one another singing very well because of the distance. That love, that collective love that we felt, was again a huge moment of great pride for me, really proud to have created something that people want to return to and that people feel truly connected. I was also very proud to stand alongside a dear friend of mine who's only a recent friend actually, somebody who was originally a singer in one of my choirs and then came along for some individual vocal coaching and is now singing with me. We sing together and I'm so proud of what we have created, and it's a real honour to stand next to this lovely young woman and call her my friend and my colleague and my duet partner. So thank you again for helping me get through lockdown and giving me another moment to be very proud of. I had lots and lots to talk about this week, and all of a sudden some of it's disappeared from my head, probably because I feel a little bit emotional this week. Last week when we went out on the river, I talked about whether we would get caught in the rain, and we did, and we got absolutely soaked to the skin. Every bit of me was wet. I'm still really proud that we went out, and I still loved every moment on the river. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes love we can come across as very cold. I was so cold on that river last week. So I took all my things off when I got back to the car and I just put on warm, dry clothes and I felt so much better. So sometimes love can come across as very cold, but it's not because we're not enjoying something, or it's not because it's giving us the wrong feeling. It's just it can leave us feeling utterly exhausted. I'm going to treat myself to an extra long session on the river this morning because the highs and the lows of this past week have been a little bit exhausting, and there have been moments when I have felt cold and just wanted to immerse myself in a very warm blanket. Sometimes that means being on my own quite a bit. So as much as I have loved the company of others this week, and I have watched in awe and with love and with huge pride at so many things this week, I think it's time for me to have a little bit of time on my own, reflecting on the river and keeping warm and safe until I see you next week. Thank you very much, with lots of love and pride.